Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Merino, but you can call me Daddyy. Today's video is extra special because it is sponsored by Pat McGrath Labs, which pinch me. I've been such a huge fan of Pat McGrath for so long and the Pat McGrath Labs brand. Over the course of the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to get to know Pat a lot better, as well as the brand, and I'm just so inspired by her creativity and her artistry and everything that goes into these amazing products. Today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to achieve a flawless complexion using all of Pat McGrath's new face system products. I'm talking about primers, foundations, setting powders, as well as some new brushes. So I'm gonna do my makeup how I normally do it on a daily basis to achieve a flawless complexion. And if you wanna learn how to achieve a flawless looking complexion, then keep on watching. So I wanted to show you guys this beautiful PR box that Pat McGrath sent. Now, as beauty influencers, you guys know we get so much PR in the mail, and it's really, really rare that I get things that I actually wanna keep. And you guys, this box, let me just show you. Boom! Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is money. This is rich. This is luxe. I was so shook, so obsessed. So let me just show you guys the inside, okay? Like heaven in a box. I'm so stoked, and I literally was like, wow, like this package is so beautiful. Like this would just look so amazing on like my vanity. So thank you so much, Pat McGrath, for sending me this. I really, really appreciate it. Now, I do have to be honest with you guys. This is not the first time that I'm playing with these products or that I've used these products. I actually got to preview them in New York a couple of months ago, and I was so honored that I got to be one of the first people to actually experience this foundation. I didn't wear it, however, I did get to kind of like play with it and feel the texture, and from what I was feeling and touching and just like experiencing, I was so obsessed. So I am so glad that I finally have it and that I'm finally gonna get to use it and show you guys. Now this is gonna kind of be more of like a, I don't wanna say like a first impressions, because it's not really like the first time that I'm seeing this, but just kind of more of like, just us going through this together, going through the system together, and just giving you my feedback on everything that I'm feeling, the way that the textures are working, and just everything about this foundation and this collection in general. Now, I did get to chat with the Pat McGrath team, and I did get to chat with Pat personally about a lot of the things that went into creating this collection. And as someone that understands product development the way that I do, I really, really appreciate everything that goes into these products. I know that Pat really took her time. And I mean, she is literally like, when I think of like an icon, like a makeup icon, a living legend, I think of Pat. So the fact that I am here now and that I am working with Pat McGrath and that, you know, I'm on her PR list, I'm on her radar, like she has blessed this face is so dope, so cool. So yeah, this is super special to me. And yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling because I feel like I just go off on my tangents. And yeah, let's just get started. I'm gonna start off with prepping my skin using the brand new Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. Now, I'm someone that really loves primers. I know that there's some people that like don't really care to use a primer. I really feel like it makes a huge difference when it comes to my makeup, and I always make it a point to use a primer. I'm gonna take a couple of pumps of this on the back of my hand. I like to apply primer with my fingers. I'm also really generous when it comes to primers, by the way. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this onto my skin. Now, literally first thing, like first observation, it smells so bomb. Like it has like such a beautiful, pleasant smell. It's almost a little like floral. It's just really nice and soft, but it just smells so nice. It doesn't have that like silicone-y texture or feel like I know a lot of primers do. It definitely does feel super lightweight, which I enjoy. I love primers that feel like I'm not wearing anything, but I can definitely feel as I'm blending this onto my skin, like the texture of my skin just feeling a little bit smoother. So moving on to foundation, we are gonna go in with the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. The one thing that I will say that I love about Pat McGrath is her names are always so vibey, so sexy. Like they just always make me feel so like, you know what I mean? Like you just feel like that girl. So I have two shades here and I'm gonna swatch them on my skin and we're gonna figure out which one is gonna look better. I have Skin Fetish Medium 17 and Skin Fetish Medium 18. All right, so I'm gonna just pump a little bit of Medium 17. One of these. Now I'm going to take Miss Medium 18. We're gonna do the same thing and we're gonna compare side by side. So this is 17, this is 18. 18 does look a little bit more like olivey. 17 does look a little bit more golden. I don't know, I'm kind of torn because you guys know I always love for my foundation to kind of be a little bit warmer because I always kind of go in with like, you know, my concealer to highlight and brighten a little bit. So, ooh, I'm kind of torn. I'm gonna go ahead and, ooh, I'm gonna go forward with the 18. I just feel it in my spirit. I think 18 is gonna be the one. So we're gonna go with 18. So to apply my foundation, I'm gonna use the McGrath Sublime Perfection Foundation brush. We're just gonna do a couple of pumps right at the top, just like so. And we are going to start to buff and blend this all over our skin. So this brush feels absolutely amazing. It feels really nice and soft. I love a good dense brush when it comes to applying my foundation because I just feel like it just helps to really smooth it out really nicely. And I like being able to just kind of buff really comfortably like underneath my eyes and like around my nose. Now, again, I know this foundation might be a little bit more warmer for me. Like I said, I personally prefer something a little bit slightly more warmer. I just always like a little bit more color. I always like to just feel like I look like I just got back from like vacationing somewhere exotic. I want to do one side for you guys first so that we can really compare the difference. I am picking up a little bit more of that foundation. Just a couple observations just from like the jump. I will say this is definitely a super, super lightweight foundation. It definitely doesn't feel thick in texture. It doesn't feel heavy in texture, which is great. I do like that my skin still looks like skin. You guys know I love full coverage. I love to look completely flawless. So it's really hard to find a foundation that makes me feel flawless, that makes me feel like it's enough coverage, but that actually looks like skin, that you can actually like see through and it looks realistic, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm done kind of blending and stippling this side out. I will be really honest with you guys. Would I say that this is like a full coverage foundation? Not so much. It's definitely buildable. So if you want something that's a little bit more lightweight, more everyday, I think this is really, really great, but you can definitely build it up. So as you guys saw, I did layer on a little bit more to build a little bit more coverage. I like the way that this looks. I think the coverage looks great. I think that my skin looks great. I'm gonna show you guys kind of like a closer comparison so you guys can really get into my skin. Okay, so I zoomed in to really show you guys the tea. Okay, we're here up close and personal. So this side, whoo, this side has no foundation on. You guys can just see it's just my bare skin. All I have on is my primer, so it has like a nice little glow going on. But on this side, you guys can see that my skin just looks so much more radiant. It looks super glowy. It looks nice and fresh. Like I said, I love the coverage. I love that you can still kind of see through the foundation. Like I feel like my skin looks like my skin, but just more perfect, if that makes sense. I'm gonna finish the other side. So like I said, we're just gonna take a few pumps of that foundation with that brush. And we're just gonna blend it out. I do wanna zoom in for you guys so you guys can see my skin once I'm done giving myself a little tan. Okay, so my foundation I feel like has kind of set a little bit more now that I've been sitting here. Let's get a little closer, a little closer. Literally look at my skin. Like, I think my skin looks so good. It looks nice and glowy, looks nice and dewy. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. You can use whatever concealer you love. This is always something that I have to do. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm going to like an event, like a red carpet moment, or just like an everyday moment, like a concealer is always a must for me. We're just gonna add a little bit. I just wanna do my makeup and my foundation the way that I normally would, like when I normally do my makeup. Before I dive into these setting powders. I'm gonna actually use that brush too. I feel like this is gonna give me what I need. So I'm gonna use that brush, but I'm gonna use it more in like a stippling motion to really blend this out. And I know Pat is all about her fingers. There's just something about using your fingers sometimes that just make you just feel like super like artistry vibes. So I'm gonna do the same thing too. So now that my concealer is nice and blended out, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face, but I'm gonna actually use two different powders. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Setting Powder. I'm gonna use shade Light 1 and shade Light Medium 2. Have these babies right over here. I'm gonna use the lighter one to set underneath my eyes to kind of really keep the brightness. And then I'm gonna use the slightly deeper shade to kind of set the rest of my face. And to do this, I'm gonna use the Sublime Perfection powder brush, which looks beautiful and luxe and nice and fluffy. Open up the powder, she has a nice little safety seal. I like to just take my tweezers, and there's always like a little like longer end that you can just pull. Ooh, there we go. And then I just kind of like finish peeling it off. And the way that I like to work with these powders is I literally just like to just kind of like, just lightly just kind of pour a little bit on the back of the cap. I always find like that just you know, just does it for me. We're gonna dip in here with our powder brush. Now, I remember when I was in New York, they actually showed me these powders in literally like lab sample jars, and I was obsessed with the texture. Like it was the softest, silkiest powder that I have felt in a long time. So I'm so glad that it is here in the flesh and that I finally get to use it. So we're lightly just gonna pat. Oh my God, pat. We're lightly gonna pat McGrath underneath our eyes, just like so. And I'm really particular about this step because I never want to like buff and blend because I don't want to move anything. So that's why I like to literally just kind of go in and lightly just pat that powder underneath our eye. I'm living for this. So I know that we all have had our horrible setting powder moments, experiences. We've all have been there when you put on like a setting powder or we're trying to bake and then our under eyes just look dry and crazy and like we're like 80 years old. This literally looks so smooth. I'm gonna zoom in again. Can we get a little closer? I really want to show you guys the difference. Okay, so this side right here, this is with the setting powder. The texture is just nice and smooth. It looks nice and bright. It almost looks airbrushed. And then this is without the setting powder. So you guys can see even like the texture, this still looks a little bit more dewy, but this just looks nice and smooth and airbrushed. Like I am obsessed with how this looks. I'm so glad that I have this in my life. Okay, I feel really good about that, you guys. I feel great about that. So now we're gonna move on to that second shade. This is light medium 2. You guys can see it's a little bit more yellow. I'll show you guys. This one's a little bit more almost like, you know, a translucent moment. This one's a little bit more yellow. So I'm lightly gonna use this just to kind of set the rest of my cheeks before we apply a little bit of bronzer. And I am going to apply that with the same brush. And again, I'm just lightly just tapping everywhere else where I haven't set just yet. I'm actually gonna use this same powder brush because I normally use a brush that's this shape, so I just feel like this is gonna give me what I need when it comes to my bronzer. And you can literally take like any bronzer that you love to use. I love to use things like make me look a little bit more golden, a little bit more tan. If you haven't noticed, that's just kind of my vibe. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of some bronzer and just lightly just dust it on my cheeks. Okay, so I just finished bronzing, slightly contouring a little bit off of camera. I do have a video that specifically show you guys how I contour my round face to catfish people. So if you want to watch that video, I'll leave it linked so you guys can check it out. I don't want to do too much product in my brows, and lately I've just been letting them grow and I've been loving the way that they've been looking. So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of brow gel. This is from Nars, and I like to just kind of brush my brow hairs up. I feel like they just look so much more model-esque if you catch my drift. Also going to curl my lashes, and then we're gonna add a little bit of our Fetish mascara, which I'm obsessed with. I don't always wear falsies, you guys. Oh, I probably look so crazy right now. If you guys have not tried the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes Mascara, you guys are sleeping on the game. I actually got to go to New York when they launched this mascara, and I actually had Pat herself, okay, coat my lashes with this mascara, and I was so shook, not only because it was just like Pat like touching my face and putting mascara on my lashes, but just because the mascara is so bomb. So you guys can see it's more of like a brush, and it just really coats your mascara with so much drama. A little goes a long way. And I feel like I don't have super long lashes, so this definitely helps. And we're also gonna take some of that mascara on our bottom lashes. It's crazy like what a difference some good mascara will make. Like your eyes just look so much more awake. And to complete this look, I'm just going to throw on a nude lip. I'm gonna go in with this, oh, I hope I'm saying this right. This is Valletta 406 Luxe Trance Lipstick, and it is the most beautiful, look at that, so pretty. Gonna throw this on. Nice and creamy. All right, you guys, that pretty much completes this look. This is typically what I do for like my everyday makeup routine, but obviously this time featuring the Pat McGrath face system. I loved everything that I used today. Loved the primer, loved the foundation, loved the setting powders, loved the brushes. As you guys can see, my skin looks absolutely flawless. I love the way that it looks. I definitely recommend that if you guys are in the market for some new complexion products, definitely check it out. Definitely visit your local Sephora, have one of the amazing cast members match you. You can request a sample so that you can try it before you buy it. But trust me, you will not regret it. This foundation is so amazing. I loved all of these products. I think, Pat, you knocked it out of the park. You guys did such a great job with just everything that I've used on my face today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before you guys leave, make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know in the comment section below if you're gonna pick up any of these products, or if you already have, let me know your thoughts and your feedback. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.